the River Thames. Finding no shortage of allies within its walls, the rebels achieved, in an astonishingly short time, the total paralysis of government, the terrorization of the most important men in the state, and the destruction of the Savoy Palace and many other beautiful buildings. Public order dissolved and was restored only at the highest cost to the Crown. And, after a period of what amounted to military rule across London, the country remained at risk of terror from within for months, first fearing a repeat of the rebellion and subsequently brutalized by a judicial counter-terror that lasted for most of the rest of the year. It would change the course of English history forever. Outside London, the rebellious spirit proved infectious, and there were major revolts in Essex, Kent, and East Anglia, as well as more isolated riots and urban disorder in Somerset, Sussex, Oxfordshire, Leicestershire, and Yorkshire. Even once the troubled summer had faded into autumn, plotting continued throughout England, and the subject of lower-order resistance, present in literature from the middle of the 14th century, became a real concern for the well-to-do. In short, the rebellion was both a comprehensive damnation of English government and a startling announcement of the new political consciousness of the common folk of England. The lower orders, who had, for generations, been treated by the landed and powerful as little more than beasts of burden and battlefield fodder, showed themselves to be dangerous, politically aware, and capable both of independent military organization and blistering anger. England's nobility, merchants, lawyers, and wealthy churchmen, most of whom had long suspected in the labouring class a tendency to viciousness, were confirmed in all their worst fears. The revolt marked the beginning of a rebellious tradition among the English lower orders which has been repeated ever since, from Jack Cade's rebels in 1450 to Robert Kett's in 1549, from Lord Gordon's riots in 1780 to the famous poll tax rebellion of our own time in the early spring of 1990. Over the centuries, the Peasants' Revolt, to use the slightly misleading shorthand that historians have given the rebellion, has found its place in the corpus of great events in English history. The year 1381 is a signpost on the road from the Battle of Hastings in 1066 and Magna Carta in 1215 to Bosworth in 1485, the Armada in 1588, and everything beyond. But what do we really know about it? The truth is that, as with many historical phenomena, telling the whole story of the revolt can be like trying to nail a jelly to the wall. The sources are fragmentary, incomplete, and strongly slanted in favour of the rebels' victims. The revolt's causes, economic, social, political, and legal, were myriad, and its geographical spread was wide. The terror that was struck into the hearts of those who recorded the revolt has lingered on. England's monastic chroniclers recorded the rebels' crimes, and England's lawyers documented their punishments. All did so with extreme prejudice, smearing the memories of the hated peasants with the ordure of their disgust and staining the historical memory of the revolt with class hatred. Partly as a consequence, this class dimension has, over the years, attracted historians with a greater interest in applying historical theory than in fulfilling the historian's most important duty: to tell, as accurately as possible, a cracking good story. This book is an attempt to redress the balance, to bring back to life one of the most colourful episodes in our history. In 1381, the peasants burst onto the historical record, and they left, for all the prejudice of their victim biographers, a wealth of vivid, violent, hysterical, and occasionally hilarious reactions to posterity. Their story is a frenzied, bloodied trip into an underexplored period of English history. And its inevitable gory conclusion, both tragic and reassuring, is a reminder of the cold...